Namaste. Please excuse the way that I look. I hadn't had intentions of making this video today, but my situation has progressed so much that I feel that it's very important for me to share what I've been going through while being in Ghana. When I first arrived in Ghana, I arrived in February 2020, and I purchased 44 acres of land with a middleman. So I had a property manager who was a relative of someone that I know in the U.S. I made this payment in three parts. One part I made in person while in Ghana. One part I sent a wire transfer. And the last part I made in person while in Ghana. It gets to be December 2020, and I have been living in Ghana since October 2020, and I was owing money for documentation on the land. The buyer or the seller refused to accept the final payment for documentation. They claimed that I owe them more money, and they said they would rather buy the land back from me. So at this point, I had already used about 16 plots to do a mango farm, and I said that I wouldn't be interested in selling back the mango farm, but they could have the portion of the land that I was not using. Now, this was December 2020. This person has not given me anything until September 2022. They gave me 20,000 cities. So, pretty much, I've waited in Ghana this whole time for this person to come up with the money, and they never have. I've gotten to the point where I had to sell my furniture. I sold my car, and now I am pretty much homeless in Ghana. But what makes the situation more devastating is now I am 6 months pregnant. I've been trying to get back to my country for months. I was unable to. Around February 2021 is when I discovered that the person that was my middleman had actually taken some of this money and never gave it to the man for the land. And so that's why he was claiming that I owed him more money. He never admitted this to me or his family for about a year. And so it really caused the situation to just become stagnant. Now this person, the rate has gone down extremely. When I first made payment, the rate was 5.3, so $1 is 5 cities. Now the rate is $1 to 14 cities. So even if this person was to pay me, they would be giving me a significantly lower amount than what I had given them. Every time they make excuses, this person knows that I am pregnant. I guess they just feel that I'm in this country by myself and I need their money and they don't have to do anything for me. I did contact somebody who is like a debt recoverer, you could say, somebody to get my money back, and they have been working on this since February 2021 and unable to recover anything for me. I have had to pay money multiple times to go to the village to see this man. Those costs have been expensive. And they turned up with nothing. So when I finally got the payment from this man in September, he told me that he would pay me again in October. 60,000 cities. He hasn't given me anything. He owes me well over 100,000 cities. And it's just put a lot of stress and strain on not only myself but my family. Now we're coming to move into the year 2023, And so that would make it about 2 years, because final payment wasn't given until December. So even though I made my first payment in the beginning of 2020, my final payment wasn't made until the end of 2020. So then 2021 rolls around, and it's been like a couple of months since that then. So now it's been, a whole year. And in this whole year, I've tried to be patient. I've tried to be understanding, all of these things. And I feel like I haven't been supported in the same way. Now at this point, I have no choice other than to contact the embassy and see if I can get any support, or to file a police report against this person. I also didn't know that money had been stolen. So the person who was the property manager gave us all these up and down run around, didn't want to admit what was going on. Nobody really knew what was going on. He doesn't speak English well. I don't speak Tree well. So it was just a lot of miscommunication. Now this person has gone to the U.S. And I'm still here in Ghana, trying to get my money back. So if I go to file right now, I have literally nothing. I've even had my U.S. bank account closed because of how long I have been out of the country. I've lost and sacrificed so much being in this country, trying to wait to get my money, because I knew that if I was to have left the country, nothing would progress at all, unfortunately. And how would I receive my money? This person doesn't have a bank account. How would I receive my money if I was to have left? So I've pretty much been stuck here in Ghana. If I want to now go and file a police report or go see the embassy, I can't even do that because I don't have any money. It will cost me money to even be able to file a police report, not only against the person who was supposed to be my property manager and stole money, but also against the seller of the land. And I don't even have that. So my family is not, my mother is on disability. She's actually a cancer patient, very seriously. Like, she has a port in her chest. She takes several forms of chemo, things like this. She has lupus. She has a very progressed illness. She has multiple chronic illnesses. She has something called mixed connective tissue disease. My father, unfortunately, is an on-again, off-again drug addict, and he is not in a position to help me. Unfortunately, he has, since me being in Ghana, asked me for money on multiple occasions. So I don't really have a big support system that I can draw on. They have definitely sent me money and tried to support me in ways that they could, but we couldn't even afford a plane ticket for me to be able to come back. When I sold my car, I did buy a plane ticket for September. At this point, this man said that he was ready to give me partial payment, so I had to cancel my plane ticket. When I took the partial payment, it turned out to only be 20,000 cedis. That wasn't enough to, I had to renew my visa and all of these things, which was expensive. And I couldn't afford a plane ticket and also be able to feed myself and support I'm pregnant, be able to feed myself and support my child on that money. So now, speaking to him again in this month of November, he's claiming that he's sick and that if I have a buyer, I should bring the buyer to him and reimburse him for the money that he gave me and the money that he hasn't received. And that is just causing a lot of stress and strain for me, because Ghana is harder now. People do not have money. They run from the price of how much I spent on this land, because this land it's in a, I guess you could say, high commodity location in a sense, and I spent a lot on it. I'm devastated because I really was trying to, create long-term investments, build generational wealth, do things that don't have as much risk. I thought land didn't have as much risk as, stocks, things like this, because I also invested in stocks. But being in this country, I had to stop investing in stocks because I wasn't in the country full time. But with that, I've been unable to progress my situation. I've felt fear around working with any other Ghanaians based on the experiences that I've had. So I didn't want to start another business here in Ghana. Pretty much I just wanted to get my money and be able to go home. But it was always excuses. Always excuses. And now I cannot accept any more excuses. It's not just me. It's me and my child. And I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do to get out of this country. My family is prepared to buy me a plane ticket so I can be able to come back to our country and give birth. But in that case, I will still be leaving behind a mango farm that I invested in. And I will be leaving behind the other acres of land. So with this property manager that stole from me, when I bought land for myself, I had also bought this person a plot of land, and they also took 20% from the seller of the land. So not only did they steal money from me, they got money from the seller, and they also got a plot of land from me. And now this person has gone off to the U.S. Haven't spoken to this person or heard from this person in over a year. My land was just left there by itself until I was able to find someone to help me get it weeded again. So that stunted the growth of my mangoes. So I wasn't able to harvest and sell mangoes this year. And I've just been very hurt because this is not someone I knew well, but as I said before, I know this person's family. I know multiple people in their family, so I wasn't really expecting this. Multiple people have been involved in speaking to the man that sold me the land, and I really felt that it would progress, but it has not progressed at all. It hasn't progressed at all. And what I want to say is, when you're coming to Ghana, if you're going to come to Ghana, know that everyone is about money. You'll hear a lot that you can bribe people to do and get certain things done, and that is very true. And also it's very true that people will always look for a cut. Even if you're giving them a portion, they will still look for a cut. When I was coming down to sell my car, if I hadn't spoken to the person who wanted to buy my car directly and they gave me a price and I gave them a price as we were negotiating, the price that the person who wanted to help me sell it to, the person who found this person, gave them was higher than what I gave them. They had told me that they didn't want to cut it off, but that wasn't true. They were expecting to get their cut from this person by telling them the price was higher or whatever. So you just really have to be on guard. And honestly, I think that you should be careful when doing business in a country that you're not a native of, even if you know natives. It doesn't matter how many. I know a lot of people in Ghana. It doesn't matter how many natives you know. This sort of thing can still happen to you. I know their family in Ghana, and I know their family outside of Ghana. I know their family in the U.S. This sort of thing could still happen to you. And at the end, there will be no remorse. There will be no feelings of guilt. And they will watch you suffer and struggle. This person has done so much things to me. The same property manager crashed my car before I sold it. Things like this. Like, I have gone through a lot due to this person and them not being just. I had a farm truck that they sold without my permission and didn't give me the money until I had to get somebody to recover the money for me. This is how this person ended up becoming involved in getting the money for my land back. And I'm just very disappointed. I'm disappointed and I'm hurt and I'm pregnant. And I don't know how I'm going to recover. I don't know what I'm going to do on the other side of this. Ultimately, I will, because I'm very smart. I know my own capabilities. But when you're dealing and you're involved with other people, you have to always manage and look out for risk. It's always going to be, a blind spot. It's always going to be a blind spot. So I'm really making this video just to spread awareness about doing business in foreign countries, and to let you know that this person encouraged me to leave the country and go back home multiple times, and I never did, and I'm so glad that I didn't, because they wanted to keep all of this under wraps and hidden for as long as they could. That's really the truth. And if I wasn't here directly, I would not know what was going on. Now I'm trying to fix it. I've given so much time. I've given this 8-month period from February to now for things to try to, be mended, and nothing has been mended. So with that being said, even with thinking about the amount of time that it's been, I just feel so disappointed, not only in those involved, but in myself, because I've let so much time pass. I've been so, I guess you could say, trusting, and it hasn't gotten me anywhere. It's just put me in situations where I had to sacrifice, where I had to figure out what to do. And there's so much more that has happened to me in Ghana with landlords and things, and I'll make another video about that. But for now, I just want to focus on saying, if you're going to come to Ghana, do not purchase land. Land in Ghana, especially in Accra, is a very bloody thing. People literally have people killed over land, and it's just not worth it. It's not worth your sanity. It's not worth your life. It is not worth your money. If you're going to do a business, do a brick and mortar, do something else, but keep yourself out of any land dealings. So please, this will be a series. I'll make other videos about what has been happening to me while I'm in Ghana. I'll try to keep you updated on what's going on, me getting home, having my child, all of these things. And I just hope that it helps not only people in Ghana, but people in the diaspora who are interested in Ghana, because I know it's right around the time of festival. It's right around the time when so many people are going to come to Ghana and fall in love in the same way that I did. But I want you to not look at it through rose-colored glasses. And the only way for that to be is to actually hear true stories. And I think that, any country, we always show and display and say the best of the best. Before I came to Ghana, so many people tried to discourage me from coming to Ghana. And I fought tooth and nail that, it didn't have to be like that. Even Ghanaians in New York, I went to Ghanaian church in New York, and they told me, if I want to come home, I should come home. Ghanaians are very wicked. That's the words that they use. Ghanaians are very wicked. And even though they are Ghanaians, I didn't know why they would be saying such a thing. I took it with a grain of salt, and I should not have. In a way, I guess you could say that I thought I knew better, or I thought that I could have a different experience. And it's true that you could have a different experience, but just be diligent. Just be diligent and be patient. Be very, very patient, because there's so many things I wasn't told, so many things I didn't know until I actually moved to Ghana, until I was here. Then I could see these things, then I could know these things. So much money wasted. yeah, so this is going to be a series. I'll make other videos talking about what has happened, my experiences, maybe giving advice. Um, maybe giving advice. And I just hope that this message reaches whoever it needs to reach. So, yeah, thank you for your time. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. Namaste.